Okay, I think we'll get started to be respectful of everyone's time. Thank you everyone who is able to join us today. For those that don't know me, my name is Pam Danker and I'm the Executive Director of AIA Grand Rapids. And today we have two guests with us from Builders Exchange of Michigan. We have Elizabeth Bovard Strong, who is the Executive Vice President of Builders Exchange, and her staff person, Becky, who is with us as well. And Becky, I think, are you a construction reporter? Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
In the planning department. Yep.
All right. Excellent. So thank you for joining and presenting to us today. And I will turn things over to Elizabeth now.
Thank you, Pam, and thank you everybody for joining us today. We are the Builders Exchange of Michigan. We are located in Grand Rapids. We cover the entire state of Michigan. We are covering both in our active bidding and in our planning. We were established in 1885 and we have been not-for-profit since 1911. And I think the biggest questions we get and the biggest confusion we cause in the reporting news is that all of the builders exchanges, which there are quite a few in Michigan, in Lower Michigan, we have Traverse City, Kalamazoo, Lansing, and CAM is also a builders exchange. We are all separately run and operated. So I don't know what they report on. They don't know what we report on, but we cause mass confusion because of the name of Builders Exchange. So I am here to apologize on behalf of that because it is confusing for sure. So anyway, so you met Becky, who is one of our planning reporters. She is our team leader in the planning department. She's been there, I believe, over 7 years. And then we also have Liz and Adam for our team. And a lot of times architects don't understand why it's a great thing to be a partner with us. There are a lot of great benefits that we give to our partner architects. We give free access to RFPs, RFQs that are posted, and other projects in the early planning stages. We are also tracking developer-ready sites so that you are the first to know when a developer is selected. We're also, you can track which projects you've been added to, which is a great thing. So if we do add you to a project, you can find that out. And if we have incorrect information, you can let us know right away. Or if you have updates, that's fantastic too, to let us know if there's a change on a project. It's also transparency for your projects. You can see what we have out there, listed on the project. The biggest thing is getting competitive bids from qualified local contractors. We know that a lot of times we have projects that are in that planning stage that we will never get in our plan room. We understand that there's a lot of NDAs out there. We just want to make sure that we're giving accurate information to our members, and we are, have that cooperation and with architects, that we're putting out what needs to be and directing people to where they need to go. The last thing you need are a lot of phone calls where it should go to somebody else. So we definitely work with, and want to make sure this is a great experience for basically for the owner. By putting it in the plan room too, it also helps too with keeping prices in line. So when you have a project that is maybe from the planning stages and goes out to bid, that is what we do. We definitely help get you more, hopefully qualified, that's what you want, competitive bids. And also with having the access to the RFPs and RFQs, it helps keep you on top of and hopefully your pipeline full. And why do architects partner with us? Partnership is a two-way street. So we certainly give you free access. The benefits to our members, which is key, is that we are giving project accuracy, project transparency, and timeliness of updates. And that's what our members want. And by having you talk with us, we have that information and we have correct information. What makes us different? We do research projects statewide. So we are looking everywhere for projects, both in all stages in the planning and also in active bidding as well. And we connect our partners to projects and hopefully owners. We are watching all of the big owners, what they are. There's RFPs, RFQs. Sometimes it's a thought, it's an idea. We're posting that for our partners that they can see, hey, this project is, they're thinking about it. It's a great time for you to get in and communicate with that owner to see what they're looking for and if it's a fit. There are a lot of sites, there are a lot of for-profit sites, but the difference with what we do is we are following up on the projects. We just don't post it and leave it alone. We are following up. We let our members know where we're at with the project. If we have not heard back, we let them know. It's boots on the ground, local relationship driven reporting. That is key for us. We want you to know who we are. We want to know what we can do and how we help you guys. So that's what we're here for. And we do that heavy lifting for you. We absolutely understand that a lot of RFQs are just sent to you. You're on lists, and that's fantastic. But what we do is, I hate to say it, kind of a one-stop shopping. We are checking over 1,700 planning commission websites monthly and over 1,200 websites daily. That's what we do. It's a lot of work, but it's, as I said, it's convenient to have it in one place for you. And that's, on our website. Over 600 no AE RFPQs were posted last year. Over 1,300 no architects or engineers on projects that were posted in 2022. So we're getting this information, getting it out to you. And we also just started with posting RFPs, developer RFP and RFQs in 2022. And Becky, if you want to kind of touch on that, on why we are doing that now.
Sure. So yeah, I just continually challenge my team to find more and sooner leads. And one way we do that is through developer ready sites and RFPs and queues as well. So we found some good sources for that information, good contacts, and we're really focusing in more so on that, on those really early leads for our members and partners. And we follow up on them, through the whole up to bidding and post bid. And we also report on a lot of the master plans, CIPs, rec plans as well. And we take the time also to go through those plans and look at, future community centers, fire stations, et cetera, that are generally, 1 to 5 years out. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Becky. And what a partner architect partnership provides, a few of the things, and what we will do, so I apologize, we will be actually going onto the website and kind of walking through what all of this looks like to you. And if anybody does have a question, if you want to just put it in the chat, and I will stop kind of once I'm done with the PowerPoint, and then we can kind of answer any questions at that time as well. But all the planning and active construction projects that are reported on are displayed in a nightly update. Basically, it tells you what stage they're in and kind of a very brief description at the within the project. So we give that to basically every night. You can also track your company and any other companies to see who's added to what project. This certainly helps when you are trying to figure out if somebody else is looking at a project, what somebody else is on a project. You can look at owners, you can look at University of Michigan and see what projects we have in the planning stage for them. So this, as I said, there's a lot of information here at your fingertips. We give our architect community the ability to see every company that has looked at your project. So and you have the contact information as well. So if you have something in the planning stage, let's say you're on that and we're updating it, you can kind of look to see, well, you know what, I'm going to need a strong MEP group. You can see who's looked at it and you can see how many times they've looked at the project. So it kind of gives you a good indication. You can look and see, as I said, how many bidders are also have an interest in it. Right now, there's a struggle getting bidders on projects. We have so much data to help you and to help the owner to know when to put a project out for bid. And we also have an very interactive member website that has bid reminders. You can get filter results, new project activity, a lot of metrics on other companies. As I said, just a wealth of information for you. And I definitely one of the most trusted and reliable sources for commercial construction leads. Becky, I kind of let you touch upon that and how you've developed all of that.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, like I said, I challenged the team to always think about how we can find more and sooner leads. And if we find a project, we're always questioning how and where we could have found it sooner. Keeping all those things in mind. As you saw, we check hundreds of sites daily. So we have lots of constant information coming in. And we don't just email on projects, we're calling, we're checking with all of the possible project contacts consistently. Some of you have heard from us, and you know, we're very persistent. Not everybody would say persistent, but we like to say persistent. And yeah, if we don't know who the project manager is, we're asking the next question and the next question. And it's really fun when we have just a really small fragment of information to start with, and we're able to dig and contact people, and it turns into a truly great lead for our members and partners. And some of that, they wouldn't find anywhere else. So that's exciting to me. And, we understand that sometimes you can't share information, and we get that, we respect that. But whenever you can point us maybe to a different contact or tell us about future projects that you have coming up, that's super helpful. And we appreciate that. Collaboration is so important. And, we're just here working hard for you, helping you get the best bids for your owners. And I love that we're a relationship driven reporting service. And I love working for a company that our focus is on that. And I know that many firms are happy to provide me with information because they know Builders Exchange, we're respected and trusted, and that we're working for you. So, yeah.
Thanks, Becky. So that's what we do. We facilitate relationships, and as I said, we work for you. And just any Q&A. So we have, how many members do you have? Great question. We have over, I have to think what my last, I think over 1,750 members currently. And the makeup is every CSI division you can think of. So from 2 to 45, we have all the CSI divisions. We also have financial institutions that come. A lot of times they want to look, and they're watching pre-bid because they want to finance projects. We have Final Clean. We have insurance companies because they're watching for bonding, things like that. So we have quite a few, and our membership, we have members all over the United States as well. So you have a lot of manufacturers reps, things like that. And we are absolutely, we would love to get all the information for anybody who wants to get on the email list. So I think at the end, maybe, or Pam, if we can just kind of send out our contact information, and we can certainly add people and do a demo. So that is, as I said, that's kind of what we do. And I'm going to end this real quick. Well, there's nothing quick when I'm trying to do a PowerPoint. Okay, so this is our website. GRBX.com is how you get there. And there's a lot of information that is on our website for our members. There's if you ever want to submit a project, there's a submit a project button. Once you get that project to us, we will get it posted. We usually have documents up within an hour, depending on how many plans. When we actually post a project, we verify the information. We have a spec book we go through and make sure that we have all the CSI divisions that are, if there are some listed, we make sure they're there. We go through the plans and we go through the index to make sure that all your sheets are there. So a lot of times we are contacting, if we see that there's something missing, we want to contact you. We also let our members know that we're in contact so that they're not calling you, bothering you. We try and get it so that they have all that information. When we get a project, and I'll kind of go through this quickly, when we get a project, as I said, we verify all that information, we post it. We certainly check for bidders. If we have if the project is a GC bid, a lot of the subcontractors want to know who the GCs are, so we try and get all that information. They want to know who their bids go to. We then have, usually 2 days before a project is about to bid, we also email to make sure that we have all the addenda on the project. Do we have the correct bid date and time? A lot of times this will trigger emails to us because all of a sudden, oh, we do have an addenda. So we want to be proactive with getting all that information. We changed how we do things several years back because we were given the original set of documents, a lot of times from reprographics, different reprographic rooms all over the state of Michigan. And we found out that they gave us the original documents and then never gave us and followed up with any of the addenda. And that can't happen. So we then became very proactive and we reach out. A lot of times things are put on a website so we can check there, but if it is not, we are usually, within the 2 days are asking. We also are happy to provide bidders lists, who's looked on our website if you need that as well, a couple of days before. A lot of times if there's not a lot of people viewing the project, then bid dates get extended. So it's kind of nice to know that. And we do that for anybody. If you're a partner architect with us, you can actually do that yourself. You can check all that. You can track your project. You can know when we post addendums. You can see all that information. We love the transparency because we know that we are not all perfect, and I will stand in front of that line with mistakes. So we have double checks in our system, but it's all good to know what we have there. If you have certain things for your certain expectations from the bidders that you want, if they need to be pre-qualified, we put all that information there. We want, our end goal is on bid day for bid opening. We want it to be a great day and time. So that's what we do and that's what we work for. And that's kind of how we run our projects. We also then try and follow up with apparent lows to see who is the apparent low. And then we have to explain to some of our members the difference between a contract award and an apparent low because they are not always the same. So, we're here to help sometimes with our members because sometimes they don't have that knowledge. So we just try and help them with that as well. So there's news and updates, events calendars, anything like that you're interested in. And I'm going to just kind of log in here. Okay, and my annual membership renewal invoice is not due. Okay, I did pay my dues. I'm not sure why that's there. Anyways, so this is when our members log in and our partner architects log in. This is where you land, which is just our desk pad. From here, you have a lot of information that you can access quickly. We will talk about setting up filters, but you can look to see your new filter results. You can see if you're tracking any projects, and I encourage any project that you have put out to bid to be tracking it. You can see, as I said, you can see when we post those addendum. You can see if we posted the plans. You can see all of that. So I encourage everybody to kind of be there. You can, I don't think you'd have any interest in our new projects, but all of our members, as soon as they are, as soon as we hit save, that project is live on our website. Same with, parent lows. We have contract awards. You can see the last new projects in planning since you last went in. So it will give you the date and time that you last logged in and looked at the new projects that we have posted. So you have access to all of that. Over here as well, you can do a quick search in planning. So if I say, hey, I just want to look in planning and I'm curious, what projects we have that have the word hospital in them. And then I can see every project that comes up in planning that has that word hospital. So there's a lot, and these are just quick searches. If you don't want to run a filter, you can still find information out. If you have one of your projects, let's say that's out for bid, that you put out for bid, if you have it tracked, it will show up on a bid calendar for you, so you can see it there. You can also you can add reminders to this. Honestly, you probably will never use these things. These are more for the, for our drywall guys, our insulation guys, or, the contractors that are actually bidding on these jobs. So where you're going to access is going to be a little bit different, but this is absolutely here for you if you were to use it or need to use it. So when the pull down on this one is if you are tracking any projects, they're going to sit in my tracked projects. So you can access it here, you can access it down here. Either way works. Our members actually, when they are, we do have, and the nice thing about our website too, is that we do have some very simple measuring tools and takeoff tools. So somebody can measure, they can save, and they can save their measurements. They can write on that drawing, they can do all that and save their plan. So that's what that is there for. With access to plans and specs and addenda, that is actually just for our members only. We do give our partner architects access to the addenda, because that is, if there is an RFP or an RFQ, that is where we post it. So if we have those documents, we do give access to our partner architects. So just kind of clarify that. But we have projects out for bid, but this is kind of where you are obviously interested in. We have basically we break into 3 stages. We have our planning with design firm that is not yet assigned. On this is also where we put all of our RFPs and RFQs. So if you are actually looking and going to submit a number for that, you can actually track that one with email or without email, but you will know if you track it with email, if an addenda comes through, you'll have an email notification that there's an addenda to address, and you'll be able to address it. From stage 1 goes stage 2. So now we have assigned an architect on this project. This is when all of your manufacturers reps and or GCs, depending on the project, are going to be in contact with whoever the design firm is to say, hey, we're interested in bidding, or hey, you've got this great playground and I manufacture playground equipment and you should spec this in your spec book. So this is when there's going to be a lot of contact. And this is why we try to get that information ahead of time, so we have the right person listed for, for the contact. And we know sometimes that can change, so we just want to make sure that we have the accurate information. We are not here to give you more emails than you already get in a day. We want to just make sure that it's, we have the correct information for contacts. And then from there, it goes to negotiated projects. So the construction manager, the GC, is assigned. And you can also just look at all of the projects as well. And if I just were to click on this, and you can actually set up a filter. So right now we have, is that correct, Becky? 2,346. Now some of these are old projects. Becky, how long is the oldest one that you can think of that we have been researching that it just hasn't gone? If you have a tough question, sorry if I'm.
No, yeah, there's several that are 10 years or more old that we just keep on checking each year, with all the funding and things put on hold and COVID,
Yeah, and we had, I remember there was a school, I think it was Hudsonville Christian, or the Unity, excuse me, they were raising money. We had it on for 10 years and finally we just were going to get rid of it. And then all of a sudden, boom, they got funded completely and there it was again. So we had to pull it back out of archive and find it and put it back in. So it just takes a minute for some of these, but we try to do the best job we can, when we communicate with the owner. when is the best time to get back? Because the last thing we want to do is, as I said, be a thorn in your side. We're not trying to bug or bother, but we just want to, so we know, and we have a seasoned team that kind of knows, okay, we're at, we just did schematics, stop, so we know from there, hey, we're going to put in a callback of, maybe 6 months, a year. We're not going to be calling you every day on every project. We don't have the time or people power to do that. But this is what we have in here. All of these projects you can track with email. The other nice thing too is that if you have maybe 5 people in your office and they do different areas, whatever, and if you see a job, you can actually email that. If they're in our system, you can actually email that lead to them and let them take care of it. If you are taking care of it, let's say, so if I click on this and it looks like, so it just kind of tells you what this is about. This is a redevelopment. If you are on this and let's say you have some thoughts, or let's say you contacted somebody, you can actually put your notes in here. You can actually type up something and say, hey, this is my note, and I'm going to save that note on that project. So you can see that project, the project notes. And we've had this since 2011, which is a long time. So so there's, as I said, there's interactive tools on this, which really will help you. If you see this and say, wow, I am not interested in this project, you can hide the project so you don't see it again. And then if you say, where did that project go? Because I've done that before. I hid something. You can actually go back and unhide. You can take it from the hidden and put it back into the system. It's still there. You just can't see it. We still have the owners. We have all of that. So you can still have that information. If you wanted to put something on your Outlook calendar in regards to this project because you wanted to set up a meeting with somebody, you can do all of that. So there are a lot of things that you can do on this website, more than you will, I'm sure, ever do. But just so you know, this is there. This is what we have, and this is what our members have as well. So they're using a lot of these, a lot of what is there and available for them. The other area that is going to be a great thing for you is this research tab. So from here, you can see if you have tracked a company, you can see your tracked companies. When you track a company as well, so let's say you track U of M, you want to just see what they're going to, what they're going to be bid, what they're going to have out for bid, all of that good stuff. You can track them, and you can just quickly go to here and see your tracked companies and what projects they are on. There's a research center. You do not need the other two. And when we post a project with documents, the plans and specs are all gone through, or they are put through an OCR process. So our members can create a filter that says site work, it says landscaping, it says concrete, and their filter then, when it runs, every new project that comes through, it will actually scan through all of the words on a document, on both the specifications and on the plans, and tell them where that keyword has hit. So where we get into a little bit of trouble is with the CSI master format, because we still have some firms using the old 2007, no, I think it was 2004, where Division 2 had kind of everything within. It had the landscaping, it had fencing, it had everything. So we do have some issues. We have some firms that combine old and new. So 2 is the old, but then you're going into the new. So it gets a little bit convoluted at times, but we encourage our members to make sure they're also just using a keyword as well. But we do have that capability, which is kind of great for them to find what they need, or to see if it's something they want to bid on. If it doesn't have something for them, they're not going to bid on it. The research center, though, is huge, and you can search for a company. I have not found that searching for a person works, so I will just kind of pass that. But you can also do a company type, and you can also do advanced. Where advanced is going to be a great thing is if you are looking, maybe you're looking for a general contractor. And here I have 6,985 contractors. So the thing is that I may have over 1,700 members. Anybody who has ever been put on a bidders list, who has apparent lows, they're on a project for some way, they are in my system. So the M stands for member. They are one of my members, and partner architects will also have an M by them as well. So these are my members, and you can see we have some in Ohio. But the nice thing about this is that when you pull up and are researching a company, so let's say you are working for an owner and they want you to give them a short list of general contractors that you think would be great for an invited GC bid. What you can do is you can say, okay, this is going to be in Kent County. And I apologize, as we know that when we look at O is first in our world, then comes the rest of the alphabet. So the people that actually built our website, we're using their software, and they're from Ohio. So in case that was a. So when I can go and scroll all the way down to Michigan, and then I can go to Kent County, and I'm going to check Kent County. Now I have weeded out, there's 451 that we have listed as GCs. Now, sometimes companies list themselves as general contractors, and that may be a small part of what they do. So it's kind of also knowing who and what does that. So if I now go back and say, okay, here's all these companies that we have, and now I say, oh, wait a second, I also want to see, this owner wants to know who the MBEs are, because they just want MBEs bidding on their jobs. Now, all the designations are done by companies. So they're the ones that actually do, they kind of self-report on this. We don't ask them, they can self-report. Or let's say they want WBEs, and we click on there. And I'm not sure why it's saying 12, but we've got 4 here. So what we're looking at then is you can also do labor. They may say, well, I also want non-union. So we have these designations, they're self-reported, but the nice thing too is that I can look at any of these companies, and in my database, if we have reported on, we can tell you if they've been on a project as a, here they were on as a GC, here they were on as a subspecialty contractor. Here's what they did in the past 24 months. You can see what areas that they work on, if they're just kind of a local or they go outside of their county. There's a lot of metrics on here. You can click on any of these projects to see what they actually bid on. So that's kind of nice. And if we get the apparent lows on that, we let you know how many apparent lows, and we do have 2 apparent lows as well. So this is kind of it's a great information. We have more information on designations and labor when they are members than obviously when they aren't. But this is, it's a great information for you to have. It's great information to see where they are, where they are, what they're doing, if they're super busy, because if they are that busy and you may not have time. So even if I go here, let's say I'm just going to go to, let's go to cast in place concrete. So same thing, you can find contractors if you're looking for them. This is kind of how you would do that. If you want to, so here you see Clark Construction. This is something they said that they do cast in place concrete. And you can look and see how, well, great, how busy is Clark Construction? So then if I click on that, I can see what projects that they have bid on and what categories they have bid on. So as I said, you're going to get some great information and great metrics. And, even, so let's say I go to, not sure if I can do this, but I'm actually going to go back. Sometimes it's easier just to go to here. So if I look at, so here's Pioneer Construction. You can see that right now they are currently on 19 projects in pre-bid. I can click on those projects. I can see every one of them. And we have them listed as whether they're listed as a construction manager or a general contractor. So you have a whole lot of, there's so much data here for you to know, to look at. If you have a project that, let's say any of these contractors come in, being a partner architect, you can actually click on that project and click on the company and see, well, how busy are they? What, or, oh, have they done this type of work before? Would these guys be a good fit for the project that I have for this owner? It's, as I said, it's work for sure, but boy, it gets you a lot of information. Kind of stuff, certain info, a non-member can, so we don't we're a membership organization. So anybody coming in has to be a member to get in, for our contractors that are bidding. With our with the architect community, if you're a partner architect, you can see everything that I'm showing. You just cannot open up the plans or specs. You can see a listing of them, so you can see that, but a non-member does not have access to what we do. We are not for profit, but we still have to, the membership is what pays our bills, puts the lights on, pays our rent, pays everybody. So we do have to charge for that information. But it's, we love when non-members ask. We have on our homepage, they can actually click to get a trial so we can show what they want or what we have. We certainly have, I think this was the first year in 7 years that we even raised our dues, and we had to, just everything is going up. So we keep our prices in line so that it's economical for somebody to use. Here again, there are a lot of they can go onto websites that are free. They can look at, so they can go onto the City of Grand Rapids website. There's other websites that are free, but we are that kind of that one-stop shopping for everybody, so that we put, all of the projects they have is just in one spot. We don't certainly get all the projects. A lot of times we just have the advertisement to bid, but we let our members know where they can go to get documents. So that's kind of the difference. We have, if somebody is directed to us, so let's say, Dennis, you put this question up. Let's say, Dennis, you put up a project and it's a public project and you want to give access to some non-members. We are happy to have them come into our plan room and we can have them sit down on one of our computers to look at it. So it's, we're here to help. That's what we do. So we certainly try and help them. Can a client access your information, or do they access through a member firm? So when you're talking client, and if you want to unmute and talk, I am good with that too. So a client, when I think of clients, I can kind of think of both owners. I can think of, if an architect gives something to us, or are you talking about our members themselves?
Yeah, I was thinking more, you said you do a lot of research from websites, and if you put information that you find on a website, and they're not a member, can that client actually access that information, or do they have to get that information by joining, or can they get it through a member firm?
Okay, so if we get information from a website to post, and I just want to make sure I'm understanding this, if we get it from a website, a public website that we post, if they needed more information from us as far as, because one thing we do is if it's a public website and they're posting projects, we will access them. If it is an architect firm, a general contractor that posts a project, we will not take something unless we ask for permission first.
Okay.
Not how we roll. So we do that. We know that BidNet, we have gotten permission to log in, but we are not allowed to take documents. We respect that, because I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me. We work hard in finding the information that we have. And as I said, we're not for profit, but I always kind of joke, we're not for loss. We do need to have that income so that we can pay people. And I would love if Becky would walk in and work for free, but she's told me no on numerous occasions. So, but yeah, so if they ever ask us, typically what we will do if we post a project for them, or let's say it's a non-member who says, hey, will you post this project? And we do get a lot of GCs that we know it's an invited bid. We sometimes struggle with getting responses back because we try to find out who else, is it an invited bid? Is it, because sometimes GCs say, hey, this is my project, I'm the CM, and we find that is not the case. So until we can verify it, it goes out as an invited GC bid. And then we try to get information, but so let's say that GC posted it with us. Typically what we will do is we will send them 2 times during the bid. We'll send a list of who's looked at their project. If they need more information, we certainly work with them. Sometimes we do, we'll give an owner, I give the city of Kentwood, the city of Grand Rapids, they have free access. I let them see what we post.
Okay.
To me, transparency is a great thing, because if I have done something wrong or we have something, please let me know. We want to fix it right away. So, but that's a great question. And then the research center is, as I said, it's a huge resource for you guys, and anybody who has or wants to know more about this, Becky or myself, we can just do a one-on-one too, as far as, what's out there for you. And as I said, our expectation in this partnership is to just have you, if we communicate with you, and, if you say, hey, wow, there's an NDA on this, or, the owner has said, we don't want any, we respect that. And we certainly can say, hey, we're not going to ask anymore, or, hey, we have a lot too that, hey, it's already negotiated and, we're good. We do not want to keep bothering you on these things. So if anything changes, if we find things, and we are looking in, we are scrubbing through those planning commission meeting minutes. We are finding information, and we will have, sometimes we will have, I did have a architect firm out of, I think it was Wisconsin, call me and say, you are not allowed to put this into, it can't be published. And I had to kind of call them on him. I said, oh, this wasn't a planning commission, this is public information, but I can say that, do not contact whomever, I can do that all day long, and I'm happy to. I want to make sure that this is a great project. So this is not me, we work together, we collaborate. So if there's things that need to be, said and stated to our members, we want to do that, and we honor and respect that. So I don't go on to any websites that I'm not allowed to. I don't, that's not how we roll. And enough on that. So the filters. Okay, sorry, these are my filters you're seeing, and these are a little bit crazy. So we do encourage, and typically if we set somebody up with a, with access, so a partner access, we will typically set up a filter for them so that, and you don't need to get a nightly email. You can just go on the website, but typically the best filter right here is this one. You're going to see everything that comes through that has no architect, engineer, no, any of the RFPs, RFQs that come out. This is really all you need. So if I set that up, I can run it, but you can actually say too, well, you know what? I just want to see what is in Kent, maybe surrounding counties. So you can click on all of these, and then preview the filter. And then I can save that filter and say, these are just the counties I'm interested. I really don't care about going to Detroit. I don't care about going to the UP. This is kind of where I want to live and look at. And you can also see things you viewed as well. So this is kind of where you can be, and just save these. Anything that you're interested in, want to watch to see when we have updates, you can track it either with or without email. And then that's going to sit, if I track it with email or without, when I go back to my desk pad or when I log in, I'm going to be able to look at every project that I have tracked with or without email. So if you're interested, it looks like a good fit for you, track it with email. We also list the reporter who is on that project. So you can actually click on, Becky and I had to figure this one out because we weren't sure if it worked, but you can actually click on to our company, look for more information and get Liz's email. So it is super easy, or, to say, hey, I see this and I haven't seen an update. Email us. So a lot of times if we don't get updates, if we're emailing on them and we don't get them, we let our members know that, hey, we have reached out, we have not heard. And we might not hear because there's nothing to hear, but we let everybody know so they don't see a project that's been sitting forever. We tell you if a project's on hold. And we've been seeing quite a few of those lately. Anything that is privately funded, it's kind of up in the air right now. Interest rates are going up. We know that prices for materials are still pretty high. A lot of owners are just saying, I'm going to wait. Now, in the public sector, that money is just flying out, flying out of the White House. So, we do see a lot of those projects that are going, a lot of school projects, a lot of the, the cities, municipalities, a lot of projects that way too. One thing with our planning is that, and Becky will remember this, so I have been here for over 20 years. When I took over as the director, I kind of challenged, we had, I think, over 7,000 projects in planning. And I took a look at it and I saw a whole lot of very small civil projects. And unfortunately for Becky, I said, those have got to go. Nobody cares about those. Well, some people care. I'm sorry. There are people that care about them, but not to have them in planning for, a project for a fence that's going to come in 2029. So we have kind of changed how we report. If it's a civil job that's over $1 million, we'll post it, because typically it's going to be raising a building and then putting something new on that property. So we will run those for sure. But we just wanted to make sure that we were reporting on things that actually mattered to more contractors. So kind of expanding that as well. And Becky did, and her team did a great job of cleaning all of that out. And I believe that we're about 50% of the projects that you see in here, 50% are privately funded, 50% are publicly funded. So we have a good mix. And publicly funded, you're going to find out about. Privately funded is a little bit more difficult. So we really strive to get those privately funded projects. And we do all sizes. We don't say, hey, there's a cutoff. If we have a dollar amount, we put that dollar amount in. But we do all sizes of projects in that planning stage. And anything else that anybody has, like this, I guess I'm really kind of at the end of what we do. I would encourage anybody that would like to have to talk about the partnership architect. The other thing we do as well, and I don't have one, is we do put out the Source magazine as well. It's a once a year. We list all of the bonds that are going up in May. We recap what happened in November. And we have some articles, but we also list all of our contractors, all of our members in that, as well as our partner architects as well. So if you would like to see that, all you have to do is email actually, if you want to email Becky at GRBX. And even if you want to say, hey, I would like to talk a little bit more about what partnership involves, I know she would be happy. I would be happy to answer any questions. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask now. You can unmute yourself.
Elizabeth, are members more of from the contractor community? And I'm just curious, is there cost involved with being a partner architect?
No, so our members that pay are typically they're contractors. So as it goes from all the divisions, your general contractors, from site to 45, they're all of those contractors that are part of us. And they pay basically on what their needs are. So if they want full access to view, print, download, and use our measuring tools for the plans, that's our upgraded membership. Sometimes if it's a final clean company, they may just need to have access to news. There's a lesser price for that. We give every project that they have access to. Once somebody agrees to be a partner architect with us, it's free for them to go online. It does not cost them a dime. Because it's, as I said, it's mutual, it's mutually beneficial, for us to have this. So it helps us, hopefully it helps the architect.
Does anybody have any further questions for Elizabeth and Becky? She covered the questions that were in the chat pretty much already. Feel free to unmute yourselves if you have more questions. Okay. Well, if nobody else has any questions, we'll end a little early, and I will for sure share. Oh wait, hold on just a second.
So Steve sent that, and we'll get back with you, Steve. So it's you don't even have to fill out that form. You get the easy button. So there are like no easy buttons in life, but this one is the easy button. Just email us. Don't have to fill out a form. We got you. Awesome.
So I will share. Should I share Becky's info with the group, or is it okay to share your contact information?
You know what? I am typing in right now.
Okay.
Becky's, if that. You're welcome, Becky. She's the expert. I'm just the talker. But anybody else, if you have not been on, I'd love to have you give a trial, see what we do. I love what we do. I couldn't even imagine working anywhere else, to be honest with you. I feel like it's a benefit. It's a struggle for sure, because there are a lot of for-profit plan rooms that are coming in, and we get that, but we appreciate our members that are absolutely, we have more new memberships because of referrals. So that's fantastic for us. We actually have, and what happens in this, stays here, but we've had another competitor actually refer somebody to us for our planning. If that is not one of the highest compliments ever, because of how we cover. So that was pretty exciting to have that. You're like, what? That's awesome. Thanks. So as I said, and we love suggestions too. If you say, hey, you're not doing something, we'd like to see something different. If we can do it and implement it, absolutely. And even Becky knows that I said, if we can do something that is better, we always say, what are we doing for our architects? What are we doing for our owners? What are we doing for our members? Because that's the most important, and customer service, all of that is huge. And we are in a customer service business. So, but thank you everybody for attending. I appreciate it. I hope I wasn't too boring. I know I was long-winded. But
Thank you.
absolutely, let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone.